I am really, really busy right now, but my brain does things while I'm doing other things. And I was thinking about this, and it all became very clear to me. And I think it's important enough that I stopped doing what I was doing to make this video. This is Daniel chapter 2. What I want to talk about is down in the 40s, verse 43, 44. But we need to start here. And the timeline becomes very clear. The symbolism, everything is becoming unveiled. As we learn to read the symbols, the scales come down, and we can see where we're at, what's really going on, who the players in the game really are through the symbolism. So we're going to talk about Daniel chapter 2. Let's just get right into it. And in the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar dreamed dreams, wherewith his spirit was troubled, and his sleep brake from him. I'm using Bible Gateway King James Version, the authorized. Then the king commanded to call the magicians, and the astrologers, and the sorcerers, and the Chaldeans. The Chaldeans is where Abraham came from, okay? That's the original source tribe, Chaldean. For to show the king his dreams. So they came and stood before the king. The Chaldeans, they made idols. And the king said unto them, I have dreamed a dream, and my spirit was troubled to know the dream. Then spake the Chaldeans to the king in Syriac. So he's speaking a different language, like Syriac is a kind of Urdu, Farsi, Arabic. It's a Syrian with a European flavor to it. O king, live forever, and tell thy servants the dream, and we will show the interpretation. Let me scroll this. Oops. Why can I not? Okay, wrong scroll. The king answered and said to the Chaldeans, the thing is gone from me. If you will not make known unto me the dream with the interpretation thereof, ye shall be cut in pieces, and your houses shall be made a dunghill. But if ye show the dream and the interpretation thereof, ye shall receive of me gifts and rewards and great honor. Therefore show me the dream and the interpretation thereof. They answered again and said, let the king tell his servants the dream, and we will show the interpretation of it. The king answered and said, I know of a certainty that ye would gain the time, because, see, the thing is gone from me. But if ye will not make known unto me the dream, there is but one decree for you, for ye have prepared lying and corrupt words to speak before me, till the time be changed. Therefore tell me the dream, and I shall know that ye shall show me the interpretation thereof. Kind of put them in a no-win situation. You know what I mean? The Chaldean answered before the king and said, there is not a man upon the earth that can show the king's matter. Therefore there is no king, lord, nor ruler that asked such a thing at any magician or astrologer or Chaldean. I need a drink of water. And it is a rare thing that the king requireth, and there is none other that can show it before the king, except the gods, whose dwelling is not with flesh. For this cause the king was angry and very furious, and commanded to destroy all the wise men of Babylon. I've got a few videos I need to make that are going to go with this, because we're going to talk a lot about Babylon and what it actually is. And the decree went forth that the wise men should be slain, and they sought Daniel and his fellows to be slain. Then Daniel answered with counsel and wisdom to Arioch, the captain of the king's guard, which was gone forth to slay the wise men of Babylon. And he answered and said to Arioch, the king's captain, Why is the decree so hasty from the king? Then Arioch made known the thing known to Daniel. My mind's inverting them. Then Daniel went in and desired of the king that he would give him time, and that he would show the king the interpretation. Then Daniel went to his house, and made the thing known to Hananiah, and Mishael, and Azariah, his companions. And they would desire mercies of the God of heaven concerning this secret, that Daniel and his fellows should not perish with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. Then was the secret revealed unto Daniel in a night vision. Then Daniel blessed the God of heaven. Then Daniel answered and said, Blessed be the name of God forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his, and he changeth the times and the seasons. He removeth kings, and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise, and knowledge to them that know understanding. He revealeth the deep and secret things. He knoweth what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth within him. I thank thee and praise thee, O thou God of my fathers, who hast given me wisdom and might, and hast made known unto me now what we desired of thee, for thou hast now made known unto us the king's matter. Therefore Daniel went. I keep wanting to switch that verb noun thing. Therefore Daniel went unto Arioch, whom the king had ordained to destroy the wise men of Babylon. He went and said thus unto him, Destroy not the wise men of Babylon. Bring me in before the king, and I will show unto the king the interpretation. Then Arioch brought Daniel before the king in haste, and said thus unto him, I have found a man of the captives of Judah, that will make known unto the king the interpretation. The king answered and said unto Daniel, whose name is Belteshazzar, Art thou able to make known unto me the dream which I have seen, and the interpretation thereof? Daniel answered in the presence of the king, and said, The secret which the king hath demanded cannot the wise men, the astrologers, the magicians, the soothsayers show unto the king. But there is a God in heaven that revealeth secrets, and maketh known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days. Thy dream and visions of thy head upon thy bed are these. As for thee, O king, thy thoughts came into thy mind upon thy bed, what should come to pass hereafter, and he that revealeth secrets made known to thee what shall come to pass. But as for me, the secret is not revealed to me for any wisdom that I have more than any living, but for their sakes they shall make known the interpretation to the king, that thou mightest know the thoughts of thy heart. Thou, O king, sawest, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. The image head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thigh of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part iron and part clay. Thou sawest till a stone was cut without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were iron and clay, and brake them to pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like chaff of the summer threshing floor, and the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image was a great mountain, and filled the whole earth. This is the dream and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art a king of kings, for God of heaven hath given thee a kingdom, power, strength, and glory. And whosoever of the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of heaven, hath he given into thine hand, and hath made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold. That is Leo, and it is the sun. This is the kingdom of Babylon. And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, the moon, Cancer, and another third kingdom of brass. Actually, I think Cancer and Leo are one, just like Capricorn and Aquarius are one. That would make the lesser kingdom Gemini. And then what we call Egypt, with all those Babylonian symbols, the age of Taurus is the age of brass, which shall rule over all earth. And of course, Taurus is an earth sign. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron. Aries is Mars, iron. Forasmuch as iron breaketh in pieces, and subdue all things, a warring kingdom. And as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. You get that same word, bruise, translated, you will bruise his heel, but he'll crush your head. Same word. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, this is where we're at the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. And there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, forasmuch as thou sawest the iron mixed with the miry clay. This symbol of the iron mixed with the miry clay is the Cairo. It is the clay, the potter's clay, which is Virgo, being ruled over by the masculine axis of the cardinal cross, Aries and Libra. These symbols are superimposed. The same symbol is the Star of David, because the iron represents fire, the triangle up, and the clay has the water of Pisces, makes it clay. And it's that water mixed with the clay that makes it miry. Miry clay is Pisces and Virgo. That's the cross. That's the her and the to get her rituals. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. The clay is Europe. The iron is Asia, or the Middle East predominantly. That's their favorite part of it, but it's Asia. So they mix war with the church, with her. She's about commerce. She's about religion, philosophy, and ideology. When you talk about the mutable cross, Gemini, Buddha, Thoth, Hermes, Pisces is religion. Sagittarius is philosophy and ideology. And Virgo is that mutable earth, that clay you can make anything out of. The clay becomes miry with the water of Pisces, because water world, through commerce, has taken over the law of the land, the clay. We're all dead in the water. They've turned the cross upside down now. So instead of Aries being on top of that rod of iron, now you have Lucifer or Libra on the top. And here in America, we're shown that Lady Justice has on a blindfold and her scales are unbalanced. Unbalanced. they are exalting Venus in Libra, which is the occult, hidden wisdom of the heavens. And when Libra was in the equinoxes, spring and fall, there was balance. But when she moves out of that position, she goes further and further out of balance until you come back around to the next equinox. All constellations do this, but they're showing it to us through the ages in the symbolism. It's all in the symbolism. We live in a time of a big spell, like there's no justice. Of course not, because they call it criminal justice. There's no justice for the victim. We're in the age of mercy and grace, and they know they can do anything they want and get away with it. There are very few consequences for this age. Very few. But we're coming into a time of you reap what you sow, and that's going to destroy. That's what's going to destroy this. Let me get a drink and we will continue. If you will learn alchemy and the symbols, you'll learn to read all of this yourself. I encourage everybody to do it. It should be the first language. It is the first language. He's restoring unto us a more perfect language. Whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. Again, we're talking about mixing Asia and Europe, water and fire, Islam and Christianity. And out of that, they hope to build the kingdom of communism. That's their plan. That they think they're going to pull out of the hat the stone the builders rejected, and their fake Antichrist Messiah, the fake stone, another faux pas fake freaking diamond. It's zirconian. It's not real. Whereas thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, as iron is not mixed with clay. Christianity is not mixed with Islam. One is water, the other is fire. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven, Aquarius, set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And right now, their God of fire is trying to set up a kingdom. He's coming in as the God of fire, not the God of air. He's going to have the words of the God of air. He's going to have a messed up symbolism, a perverted symbolism of the God of air, like the statue Baphomet. They play it off as Capricorn Aquarius. But I tell you, in Capricorn and Aquarius, on the cardinal cross and the fixed cross, Mercury and Jupiter have no part. And Mercury's caduceus is front and center as that faux pas phallic, that fake stone, the Antichristos, the oil from below instead of the oil above, in the lower kingdom instead of the upper kingdom. Let's continue. I'm getting hostile here. For as much as thou sawest the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it brake in pieces the iron, Aries, Asia, the brass, Taurus, that's Freemasonry today, the clay, Virgo, the silver, Cancer, moon, the gold, solar astrology, lunar astrology. The great God hath made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. You know, I want to stop right here before I continue, because I watch a lot of Matt's videos on quantum of conscience, a lot of his subscribers have migrated here. And he's been talking a lot lately about the realm and what this place is and how deceptive it is. And yeah, everything. We're in flux. We're in a mutable age. We're in a constant state of flux. It's forever changing, and there's always a new rabbit hole. But I found one thing in life that has remained consistent throughout just not my life, but the ages. The one thing that never changes. They try to change it, but that are the heavens. Throughout every culture around the world, the stars in their traditions are exactly where they are today. No difference. For thousands of years, through the rise and fall of civilizations, it's in petroglyphs and in architecture and art all over the world. And all you got to do is to have the eyes to see it and the ears to hear it, is to have eyes that hear and ears that can see. Let's continue. Oops, I'm doing the wrong scroll again. Then the king Nebuchadnezzar fell upon his face and worshipped Daniel, and commanded that they should offer an oblation and sweet odors unto him. The king answered unto Daniel and said, Oh, of a truth it is, that your God is a God of gods, and the Lord of kings, and a revealer of secrets, seeing thou couldst reveal this secret. Then the king made Daniel a great man, and gave him many great gifts, and made him rule over the whole province of Babylon, and the chief of the governors over all the wise men of Babylon. Then Daniel requested of the king that he set Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego over the affairs of the province of Babylon, but Daniel sat in the gate of the king. Alright, this is Psalm 19. I cut out the little ad for you on the bottom down there, so maybe this one will be a little better. Psalm 19, which is PSLM, that in the Greek, when they use words for air, you have that silent P, like pneumatic, that PN, that silent P, psst, and the LM is the king. King James Version, Psalm 19. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard, because it speaks in symbolism. Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words are their symbols to the end of the world. In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun, which is a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoiceth as a strong man to run a race. His going forth is from the end of heaven, and his circuit unto the ends of it, and there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean. Actually, that word should be reverence, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than fine gold, sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb. The gold is the sun. Aquarius is opposite the sun, and the beehive honeycomb constellation is in Aquarius. Cancer, which is opposite Capricorn. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping of them is a great reward. Who can understand his errors? Cleanse thou me from secret faults. Keep back thy servant from presumptuous sin. Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright, and I shall be innocent from the great transgression. The great transgression. The New Testament says, I will send strong delusion to make them believe the lie. The lie, singular. The great transgression. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength, my Redeemer. Best prayer you could ever make. You should read it daily. This should be part of your daily bread.